What's up everybody, Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, there's a lot of things we're going to talk about. More information about the tournament mode, night market is returning, and a new weapon buff. So we're going to break it all down and talk about it. But the gameplay buff sets the absolute best way to master any weapon with tips, tricks, guides, and breakdowns over every single one. If you want to know exactly how to optimize your gameplay and climb the ladder, do yourself a favor and go check it out in the links right now down below. First up, we know when the night market is returning. It's returning at the end of this month, September 28th. I can't wait to open up every single garbage weapon that I don't want. I don't know what it is about the night market, but I've never gotten something I've actually wanted, even though I want so many different skins. You know how the night market is. I don't know, man. It's just elusive. I don't know at this point. But the next thing we got to talk about is the tournament mode. We got a little bit of extra information about the tournament mode stating, quote, within tournament mode, there will be different match types, tournaments and leagues. Within leagues, you'll be able to earn league points. Now, this is definitely interesting because remember, the tournament mode is leading directly into tier 3, tier 2, and then eventually pro play. It's like a straight line from the in-game system. At least that is the plan. And leagues sound like something that you're going to be able to participate in consistently with your team. And depending on your placement, you're going to get a certain amount of points, and then there'll probably be a certain amount of point quota to qualify for other events that could earn you more points. So it's a cascade effect, making it so every stage is just harder and harder and more difficult. And of course, even if you don't qualify all the way, you could still use it as a resume of sorts. I participated in this many leagues, I did this well, we got this many points, blah, blah, blah. And I do think that it's going to be an interesting system when it all comes together, but there's still a ton of things that we don't know. And of course, the fact that there's also tournaments just means that there'll just be random tournament brackets. Perhaps it will be, let's say, for, you know, Valor points or whatever, like a random tournament, random pop-up tournament Saturdays, you play in it, and if your team does well, everyone on the team gets a certain amount of points, so you could all buy skins or something. That'd be really cool, you know, pop-up Saturday, whatever the case may be. And then there's the leagues that you play to actually qualify if you're trying to chase the path to pro. Definitely interesting. Let me know what you think about it. Now, the last really important information is the Stinger is actually getting buffs teased right now on the public beta entry. The primary fire has been adjusted from 1.6 air after 7 bullets to 1.3 air after 6 bullets. Now, what this is gonna feel like is that the gun is just gonna be more accurate, and you're gonna be able to kill people more consistently at the same ranges than you were before. And it's gonna be a little bit more effective, even from slightly longer distances away to what it was before. In my personal opinion, the Stinger has been an underrated weapon for a while, and people that really master the weapon can get some value on it. We've been seeing it even in pro play, and players all over the place use it as an eco-buy weapon, and this is making it even more competitive, but it's not stopping there. The alternate fire first shot air has been adjusted from 0.5 to 0.35. So, you know, this is like something of a midway point between, you know, where it used to be. Not quite the midway point, honestly, probably still on the worser side, because before it was absolutely busted. And these changes are going to make the Stinger much more competitive if we're talking about that price point. Because the problem with the price point is there were other weapons that were cheaper that you're like, hey, maybe I'll just use a shorty, or hey, I'll just use a frenzy. And then in that price point, it was a little bit hard to justify buying the Stinger when you could buy a sheriff, when you could buy a marshal. But the thing is, now, especially if you're playing a character that wants the flexibility to maybe retake fast, like your Raze, and you can retake fast, or you want to be able to hold an angle, this is a really good entry weapon, and it's a really good defense holding an angle weapon. Gives you a lot more flexibility than a shotgun, and if it's more buffed, that flexibility will come through, and people will probably use it more. That being said, we haven't gotten any weapon changes in a while, and it's interesting to me how the first weapon change we got out of nowhere is the Stinger change. I don't even necessarily think the Stinger is the worst gun in the game. For that, I would probably give it to the Bucky, if I'm being honest. However, I'm not entirely sure you want to buff the Bucky to a point where it's consistently viable. I think it's fine, just being a very niche weapon that is useful in very specific situations. And I'm kind of okay with the Stinger being the same thing, but you tell me, do you like the Stinger buff? Are there any other guns that you really think need buffs? And are there any guns that you think need nerfs? So let me know how you feel all about that down below. And the Game Link website is the best place to pop off, dominate, and build that godlike aim so you can climb and dominate the ladder. Tips, tricks, guides like you won't find on YouTube at all. So do yourself a favor, go check it out right now in the links down below.